Now, a state investigation found that Governor Sarah Palin abused her power when she fired her public safety commissioner, but did not break any laws. We have to be very clear about that. She did not break any laws. So, I thought it was interesting because I understood partially when they said, you know, it's within her right to fire whatever employee, state employee, whatever, but I didn't understand how she was guilty, and then I know you read it, and it said that what it was is she abused an ethics law in Alaska. So please clarify.
I read that whole 80. Elizabeth has me reading 300-page bills and 80-page reports, but
relaxing.
But she abused an ethics thing that they put out. But also too, it said that she could fire in her position. She could fire at will. She had no reason. But it also said, finding 3, that it was that Monaghan. That wasn't the sole reason. He is the person that got fired, that chief of police. It wasn't the sole reason he got fired because of Wooten, her brother-in-law. But it was a contributing factor,
and that's why the ethics was kicked.
But so she did not. She was not found guilty. But what I find in this report was that Todd Palin was acting on a lot of.
Secessionist. He's not a secessionist. He's never made any comment saying a secessionist.
1995, 2003 was in the group that wanted to see Sing from the Union. Hello.
No, but they were never. He was never. Just so we can just put that to rest. He has no real active history in the party, and he never actually. He was registered as undeclared, and he never advocated himself to secede. There were members in there that did.
Sarah Palin was at one of their meetings, and she said, "Keep it up. You're doing great." She was at a meeting.
She welcomed the group, I think, to the city or state.
Why would you welcome a group of secessionists in your state of Alaska? Why would you do that?
It fell under her jurisdiction as welcoming any traveling group
Sarah
of people.
Palin. This is a whole line of annoyance about her. Number one, there's Troopergate. Let me just lay this out for a second. Number two, she is into cronyism big time.
Why
this
would
woman.
you say that? She fired her own
I'll tell
party.
you why. May I tell you why? Because she put, as the head of agriculture in Alaska, one of her girlfriends from high school. You know why? Because the woman liked cows. That is a fact.
It's exaggeration.
Look it up and fact check.
She did hire her, but to say that it's because she likes cows.
Anybody who disagrees with this woman and her politics is considered a hater. This is Cheney in a dress, okay?
Finish your point, I assume.
Yeah, go ahead. On page 700.
Well, no, I just was very concerned about how much of a role Todd Palin played in trying to get this man fired when he had nothing to do with Sarah Palin and her position as governor. That concerns me if she is running for vice president, because, you know, I'm looking at Todd Palin. I thought he was just the dude that sat home and took care of all them kids. But it's looking
then you have to look at Michelle Obama that way. You know, she's active. She's written thesis on, has a strong worldview. She's got strong opinions. So are you looking at that and saying,
Michelle
well,
hasn't been in trying to change any of his policies. She hasn't been in trying to influence him.
I'm just saying, we don't know that. Look, I think she was found innocent in this case. My thing is, because it says it's not
something
illegal.
we don't even know.
It's illegal to, if she were, this says that she was not found, it's not illegal because it didn't violate any laws, but because she may have personally benefited in some way.
That's what they're
questioning. Now, would you be prevented from firing someone if you happen to personally benefit? If someone was actually
wrong? She her power and underuses her brand.
I think the answer to your question.
She spoke against her own party.
I think the answer to your question is, had the brother-in-law issue not been part of it, had it not been part of it, it would not have been a problem. But because there was a personal issue, it casts doubt on what her thought process is. So that's why that's going on the way that it is. I just thought it was interesting as we're leaving, because I'm being given this, and that's not just a girl working a poll. I thought it was interesting that we're talking about ethics now, and I'm so glad.